Okie dokie. So this is a follow-up video on the last one I made, which was the basic overview of my 2025 CS2 investing ideas, my outlook and whatnot. So if you haven't checked that out, there will be a link in the middle here. Highly recommend it. And I want to say shout out to everyone that left feedback on that video. A lot of you guys had some really solid input, so I will use that and implement it into this video. The main takeaway was to look at the Armory a little more, which is what we're going to do. We'll say that I think the Elemental Craft stickers, some of the top tier charms have a ton of potential, including even the lower tier blue charms, the commons. I think the Armory is going to provide a lot of opportunity for investors and players to do customization. So let's run into that. Now, I want to say the Armory will change in about 5 days or so. Don't rush into buying things. If you have a little bit of money on the side, it might be smarter to not gamble. It might be smarter to wait on this expected change, see what they pull out, put in. I have no idea really, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But with that out of the way, let's quickly hop over to CS2 Armory. This is a really cool website, and I'll leave a link below. It tracks basically all the collections. It tracks the Armory here, and you can see basically your unboxing ROI and the investing ROI from different time frames. Really cool website if you want to just click around and explore all the info they break down here. You can see the Armory has just been incredible for investors. It's been incredible for CS players. I think the biggest component is you having to play the game to earn the stars to obtain skins or redeem the skins and charms. So I think that's a big factor. It's going to affect the quantity of the stickers coming out. So it affect the amount of people that are redeeming these collections. We'll keep an eye on this. I just think that the Elemental Crafts have a lot of potential just because it seems like a lot of guys are just going straight for these collections. I know the M4 Fade, everyone and their mom was using their stars towards this at one point. Let's hop over to the crafts here. I want to kind of point out quickly the ones I like. I'm a fan of the Ruby Stream, Ruby Wave. I think these are going to do really well over time. Obviously, they're your extraordinaries. I think a lot of these have some really nice styles. These ones down here, Winning Scorch, I have a copy of that one. I own one of those stickers. I think a lot of these are corny. I do feel that a lot of these blue purple ones going for like 25, 30, 40 cents. I feel like these are where the money can probably go double, triple, quadruple. Keep an eye on these. I really like them a lot. All these are kind of unique. You could just do so many different style crafts with all these. Take a look at these. I want to hear your thoughts if you have any stickers of the Elemental Crafts you're interested in. I know they're kind of funky. I could see these ones doing well. The Scorch Loops, Scorch Loop Reverse, Hydra Wave, Hydra Stream, you know, the ones where people will kind of make funny, you know what I'm talking about. They'll make funny crafts with wet waves. Let's just leave it at that. Yeah, Winning Scorch. I think all these are going to do well. Even if you check on Steam Market right here, you can see some of these quantities are quite low. What I believe to be quite low. So let me know what you guys think on these. I will say I haven't really made an investment yet on the Elemental Crafts, but if I had to, it would be probably going for one of these cheap 30, 40 cent, loading up on a bunch of copies and then just holding them for a year or two and see how they go. The creativity element will be huge too, because obviously people want to make crafts. Not everyone wants to hold stickers all the time. It'll be something to look at to see how they apply these stickers and what crafts are popular. That's another thing to mention. And moving on from the stickers, which I am a big fan of, let's take a look at some of these charms. So there's a couple guides I'll include in the description where they go and they break down the semi-precious, all the different patterns. I do own a purple. I think it's a mix of purple actually. I have to double check my ID on that. I'm a big fan of these semi-precious. I think they're some of the best looking charms out right now. You can see some of the gamma Dopplers. And I think you want to go for the emeralds, just like a knife. Go for your emeralds, go for your Dopplers, go for your whole sort of colors. You have your baby carrot CT and the color breakdown. So I think the trick with these, generally speaking, is to go for the low numbers. If you can find like under 500 or 1,000, even if you find like those good numbers, those 888, 777, 145, like just like small, like unique numbers that stand out. Even if someone played like hockey, for example, and they're like number 17, so they would probably want number 17. So it's a weird psychology, a weird way of looking at CS investing. Go for the low numbers, go for the high numbers. You have to kind of use the sales and gauge sort of the value of these, because there's so many different patterns. You have 10,000 or 100,000 different pattern indexes. You're going to want to do your research. It's very early still on these charms. I think a lot of these whole colored, full colored charms will do just incredible over time. And sort of moving on here to some of the lower tier charms, you have a lot of unique patterns on some of these as well. You can see that there's all sorts of variations with the colors. You have the little teacup. This is a really cool one as well. I know this variation, this index, you have 99606. I think there's a couple other ones. They have this smoke written right across like the stomach area. That one I know is a hot one that people are kind of going for. If you want to start investing in these, try to look up and do your research on these patterns and see which ones have like the little smoke. I know there's a smaller version across. I spent like a good day honestly looking at some of these. The hot worst. I'm not a huge fan of all these, but there are a ton of unique patterns that you just can't ignore. You have a sapphire, blue gem, chicken. I think some look kind of funny. Like, what is going on with these, man? I don't even know. You have the diamond dog. You have there's a pearl version. Yep, the white version, and then you have your normal glowing version. So I'm not a big fan of these, to be honest. I like some of them, but I will say if you do go down the rabbit hole of investing in these, I think they will do fine. I just don't know enough about it yet. You just want to do your research, do due diligence, make sure you're getting good pattern indexes, make sure you're getting some of the rare ones that people will want to go for, whether it's a low number or just a unique pattern or colorway. Do your research on those. I do want to hop over to CS Flow. This is one of the trims I do like and I am starting to invest in. I did buy a Hot Hell before this video started. I have one of these now. I want to get several more. I think the Hot Hell might be the heater in the bundle. So yeah, I just bought this one here for 60 bucks Canadian. These might go a bit lower. These might go to the 50 range. Keep an eye on it. If they release a bunch more charms on this next like Armory update, we don't know what they're going to do. Maybe somebody does know what they're going to do. I don't yet. Depending on what happens, you might see an instant pullback once they drop a new set of charms. I do like the Hot Hell more than the other ones. And I'll quickly point out with the Hot Hell charm that the lower numbers from 1 to 15,000, you'll have more reddish and more shatters. And then the higher ones from 15,000 to 100,000, you'll have more of that yellow or gold sort of style through the middle. So this is your lower ones, and then these are your higher ones. So pretty creepy, but I do think the Hot Hell will do well over time. Obviously the M4 Howl's legendary skin, and this is just, you know, this is like bread and butter. These go together well, so keep an eye on those. And the last thing I want to talk about in this video quickly is some of the in-game pickups I made. So I did pick up an M4 Fade. I did reply to a couple of comments letting you guys know that I did get some grip in the game. I do know this video is all over the place, but let's see how some of these are selling. I went for a 98.8 Fade it is. I feel like I did overpay a little bit. I paid just over 700 Canadian, but you can see that some of these here, you get a 97.8 Fade, went for 740. Oh, what type of patterns? Some stickers on this. Oh, lovely. Lovely. But yeah, the best way to sort of gauge the M4 Fade, I'm not telling you to go crazy, go buy a bunch of these. You're going to want to look for low float, you're going to look for low cost, you're going to look for high fade percentage. So you have three sort of variables that you got to break down to find a good price on these. So low float, low cost, and a high fade percentage. Once you find the trifecta of those three sort of metrics, that's where you can kind of gauge and figure out a good price, an expensive price on one of these, or a fair price. So yeah, let's quickly look here. I'll try to give you a breakdown. So let's say we set this up as lowest price. My guideline, I'd probably go for like a 95% fade at least, depending on your budget. Or if you just want to play skin, some of these with the lower fades do have a lot more gold coming through it, and it looks perfectly fine. It depends what you're into, but let's quickly play a game live. Some of these are starting to go up like crazy, actually. What I would look for is like some of the 95% fades. And then you'd also want to look at the float. So this float's kind of in the middle, a little bit too banged up for me. Some of these are getting better, but they're not enough fade. You got a 94, and see they're already starting to go up into 700s. These were all around like 680, like this range. I swear to God, these were like 680 the other day. I will say the M4 Fade is starting to pick up. I did purchase one, as I said. Even though I felt like I overpaid at first, it's slowly climbing up. I think the M4 Fade is going to be a great investment for the next couple of years. It's a wonderful skin. It looks amazing if you put like a semi-precious charm on it. But yeah, don't go crazy. Don't buy a ton of these to start. We don't know what the Armory has in store. We don't know what changes are coming. They could drop another banger M4 skin, which can compete with this. So we don't know if you're going to go for one. You really want to do your research. You want to look at these sales. And I could probably like make a video breaking down how to do this, but you really just got to go with the flow. So look at what's selling. Like here you have a 99%er sold for 863. 35% above whatever the lowest price is. You really want to just look at those metrics. You want to look at the float, you want to look at the fade, and you want to look at the price. It's really hard to gauge. My basis would just be 95% fade, like a 0.01 float, and then like under, in this time context, like under 700 Canadian. I don't know what that is in American. That's kind of generally how I'm gauging this. This will certainly change. It's subject to change. Just be smart and we'll keep an eye on that. And the last thing I want to mention is the same idea. This is the Snow Leopard gloves. These have been going absolutely insane. I picked up a copy, I keep saying copy, bro. Picked up a pair of these close to 2 weeks ago. Volume on these is just unreal. I mean, I don't know if you guys have any gloves yet or what you guys have in your inventory. Let me know if all gloves are having this type of sale volume. I'll tell you one thing, whether or not you like these gloves, whether you think they're banged up or not, the sale volume is just insane, and it tells you that players are attracted to these and they're selling off the shelves. What I would recommend for the driver gloves, the Snow Leopards, I purchased the field tested, and I think I have a 0.20 or 0.21 float. So they're in the middle here, and they look almost minimum wear, but they're still field tested, if that makes any sense. That's my kind of sweet spot. I wouldn't go and spend the factory new money. If you're balling like that, do it. Go do what you want to do. This is not financial advice. Minimal wear is also sort of in that nice price point, but once you get over $1,000, it's kind of eh. I think this is the sweet spot. You get a low float, low price driver gloves. So you can even go put it on field tested. You go here, lowest float, and then you start scrolling down. And yeah, there will be people watching it. That's sometimes a good gauge to see. Like, these look like minimal wears and they're field tested. These down here, let's see. 800. So these are a decent deal. So yeah, I was just scrolling around here for a minute. It looks like this is kind of when you're bang for the bucks right now. You have a 0.206 float, 741 Canadian. Take a look at these. Pretty clean. Got a little blue here. Obviously, you won't really see that in game, but this is kind of my sort of formula for buying these Snow Leopards, and that can pretty much go for most gloves. Set it to lowest float, scroll down, find some of those lower price points in comparison to the float of others. Sometimes you can find a deal. I mean, I just bought my pair for like 650 Canadian. Some of these are selling at a higher float for over 760 now Canadian. Definitely something to look at. If you can make $100 by owning a pair of gloves that you can't even wear in real life, interesting stuff, not gonna lie. But that's pretty much what I want to say for this video. I know it's been all over the place. I just want to break down the Armory. I want to break down some of the stickers that are coming out, and it's all tying together with them for fade that I picked up. I did say in my older video, or the last video I made, that I didn't pick up anything, but I have an M4 now. I got the play gloves, and I'm starting to add a little bit more into the Armory. I just want to get this video update out there for you guys. Really appreciate all the feedback, and if you have any questions, drop them down. If you have any criticisms, any advice, let me know, and I want to hear what you guys are doing for the Armory. What do you think is going to come up next? And yeah, that's pretty much it, and I'll make another video soon.